lovers, the moon is a thing of beauty. But to this man it is a deadly curse. When the moon is full, this miserable wretch turns into a hairy, snarling half-man, half-beast. Prowls the night, his fangs thirsty for human blood. He is a werewolf.
Hello and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast, the show where we talk about Marvel's #1 lycanthrope, Jack Russell, a.k.a. the Werewolf, a.k.a. the Beast, a.k.a. the Shaggy One. I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm your other host, Jacob Balcom.
And we are joined this week by our wonderful friend and guest, Brad Elmore. Hey, Brad.
Hey, guys.
And this is our, we missed you last week. We had the Hangman on, sorta, as a magical construct. And it felt weird talking about the Hangman without you being in the conversation.
I know. I felt left out.
Yeah.
But I did try to throw my propers down and say, Brad would say, if Brad were here.
Well, I find myself in conversation in life, like talking about shit I've talked about on here and realizing like, oh, no. Oh, yeah, that was a conversation you had with the Werewolf by Night guy. You can't – nobody cares about what you're talking about. Like the Hangman – takes up a lot of space in my head now. As do like a lot of these, as does the whole run of the comics, because it's just so bananas,
Yeah, our conversations have also left their brand on me as well. I don't think that I think Hangman without immediately thinking sex pest, and I have to associate that term with you.
He's got skeletons in his closet.
Yeah.
And women in a basement.
Yes. So, yeah, we're winding down the run of the show here. This is the final handful of episodes, and we definitely had to have you on because this one features Morbius and Ghost Rider, two of your 70s faves.
Oh, yeah. I've got qualms with this Ghost Rider. Little tiny quibbles.
I knew you would.
I thought you would too, and I want to hear them. I'm very excited to get into this. It's a rather slight story. This week we're talking about Marvel Premiere issue number 28, featuring Ghost Rider, Man-Thing, Morbius, Werewolf by Night, and it has a big banner across the top that says The Legion of Monsters. And I was so excited when I was buying these back issues back in the day, 20 years ago, to pick this one up for like $8 or something. Seemed a little spendy, but I was like, these are the greatest characters around.
Worth every fucking penny.
Yeah.
Worth every penny.
And so I was like, they even have a name. So this is going to be good. And I read it and I walked away from it thinking there was something about a mountain. Is my go-to memory. A mountain pops up somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this one's kind of underwhelming, but I did enjoy reading it again a couple times. And I do want to read it with you guys or talk about it with you guys.
So before we jump, can we all do initial thoughts?
Yeah, sure.
This?
Ooh,
yeah.
All right.
Like initial thoughts on your reread?
Do me start?
Yeah, sure.
I actually, knowing that the story was slight, just focused on the art really more than anything else. I do have some questions. And I remember thinking there was a character in here that's kind of like a pre-Beyonder in a weird way. And why didn't this ever come up in any kind of weird way ever? Because it just was ripe for some really corndog 80s stuff. But yeah, it was you get these four characters together. I'm expecting some magic to happen, and it's kind of just like people. It was more kind of like the Chinese restaurant episode of Seinfeld. Like they kind of did stuff, and they just ran into each other on the street corner, like, "Oh, hey," and then the story happened. I don't know.
Yeah, it's slight.
I kind of had the same experiences as you, Matt. Yeah, you read it and you're like, wow, I just read this, and it's been like you were saying off air, Brad. It's like I read it and I'm like, wow, 2 minutes have passed by. How did I finish that comic in 2 minutes?
Thank God. I get so bogged down by some of these Werewolf by Night comics. They're just like fucking what's his name? Just like just putting the pedal to the metal in every word he's ever learned.
Yeah.
To describe the fucking moon.
It's like the baguette
there's
shit
a picture
in the Bible.
of the moon. Move on.
Yeah, Gregory Rousseff begat Johanna Rousseff, who begat.
No, but we did not get that. We did not get that with this one at all.
No.
We have Bill Mantlo, and he just gets down to business.
Yeah. See, I feel like I've never read this before, which was great because I love that, and it's got so much shit I love in it, and so much stuff that I love that doesn't really mix with the characters involved. But I'm like, fuck, I love the swing of it, and we'll get to that. But my sort of thoughts are: this is clearly a Deadline comic. This is clearly which I am fascinated with now because our whole thing of with these creators and what they're up to. It's like that makes it interesting from a different perspective, not just like, do I enjoy the story? But obviously when we talk about like, what was the duress this was made under? And my guess is a lot, but saying that because of that, unlike a lot of these, which are just like too much prose and a slight story, this is a slight story, but it's going to go swing for the fences with some stuff, and it's not going to fucking waste your time. Like, and if you're 6 years old and this comic comes out, or you're 13 years old and this comic comes out, you're going to smoke a joint. You're going to like this comic.
Yeah.
I'm glad you skewed that up from 6. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Well, I mean, that would be, I think, the age range of what Marvel wants at the time.
Right.
They got the college kids, but they put all the monsters on the cover, hoping somebody from 6 to 13, maybe some college kids would pick this thing up. And I feel like a college kid would have been like, this sucks. Like, give me some Starlin. But I think like a young kid would be like, hell yeah, this has everything.
It does have everything.
and it's a breeze to read. It reminds me of being a kid, and one of the first comics I bought was I think it was issue part 8 of Maximum Carnage. It's a terrible comic.
Yes.
But it also doesn't waste your time. It's got Carnage and Venom and Morbius. They're all fighting each other and shit. And I'm like, and when you're that age, it's just like, hell yeah. I mean, it just has that. That's what it reminded me of. It was like, this is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it has, I mean, we got to talk about Starseed when we get to him, but yeah.
Yeah, let's jump in.
Yeah.
What about your initial thoughts, Jacob?
I thought I
out of this, did you?
I thought I gave them.
What were they again?
I said that it didn't take me long to read, but I liked it. Did you not listen? Like the last
I heard that.
Okay.
I thought that was like a preamble.
Well, this whole thing's a preamble. I'm saving the real meat for the episode, my friend.
Okay, I like it. So this cover here is by penciled and inked by Nick Cardy, which I'm not familiar with as well. But
I got some info on him if you'd like to know.
Why don't you dish that right now before I describe this?
So yeah, I know Nick Cardy most from just like he's probably one of the most famous cover artists of all time. Like basically what about N.K.? Well, Gil Kane, he's basically Gil Kane's, analog over at DC.
Oh, okay.
And Nick Cardy did, oh my God, he just did so many covers that are amazing at DC. He got his start in the 40s working at the Eisner Eiger shop. And he worked along with the people like Lou Fine and George Tuska and Bob Powell. And then he went to World War II. He was a tank commander. And when he got back, he drew the Tarzan newspaper strip. And then kind of jumped over to DC and stayed there for like 25 years. So he didn't do a ton of Marvel stuff. He only did 11 covers for Marvel between like 75 and 76. And most of them were for Crazy magazine. So, God. But 2 were for Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. She did one issue that was this weird like one-off called Marvel Movie Premiere that was The Land That Time Forgot.
Oh, wow.
I was like, never had really heard of that. And then he did this issue. But I think my personal favorite Nick Cardy stuff is he did this Western series called Bat Lash.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like
Sergio Aragonés, like that is just the shit. That's one of my favorite comics of that era. Like the art is beautiful. It's so funny. Like, yeah. So that's that alone makes me a huge Nick Cardy fan, but he's rad.
I didn't tie him to Bat Lash. I've only read a little bit of Bat Lash, but I like what I've read. But his name rung a bell for the Tarzan stuff because I'm a big Tarzan nut. But yeah, very storied career, but his name didn't jump out at me until you just said Tarzan. I'm like, oh, he's that dude. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but any like I could just show you like 10 of his covers for DC in like the 60s and 70s, and you'd be like, oh, of course. Like,
yeah,
they're very, very famous. They're very, very signature style. So he's amazing. I'm glad we got to talk about him even just for one issue this podcast run.
So the cover artist and the interior artist both were kind of associated more with DC than other stuff.
Frank Robbins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But, Frank Robbins has done a lot of,
I mean, he did like
and
Invaders and stuff like that. But I mean, like,
right. Yeah.
I guess I'm associating with that, late 60s reinvigoration of Batman, like making him dark again from the cartoonish thing he'd become in the pop art stuff.
No, for sure. Yeah, I guess for me, I'm just more familiar with the stuff he did more in the 70s at Marvel, like a lot of the monster stuff and Ghost Rider. Okay. And yeah, but super cool guy. I'm excited we get to talk about his art as well.
Yeah, I guess I forgot he had Ghost Rider work. Okay, so this cover here, pretty sweet. Our point of view as the viewer is like all the monsters are looking at us, so we are the threat, essentially. And there's a explosion that says the most spine-tingling team-up of all. There's a box that says action in the mysterious Marvel manner. And Man-Thing is tromping towards us on a California highway. Morbius is swooping towards us in the middle. The werewolf is diving towards us. And in the foreground, Ghost Rider's looking at us and saying, "Stay back. Even we don't stand a chance against that." kind of corny, kind of awesome.
Yeah, it threads that needle between the two things perfectly, I feel. I wish they would have said, he should have just said Starseed. Why say that? Say Starseed. That's his name, right? Am I getting that wrong?
No, that's Starseed.
Starseed, yeah.
So you think that would have pulled in more kids being like, who the fuck is
Starseed? Certainly, yeah. I mean, Starseed is certainly better than the word that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not really a flashbang term,
No, even though
it's so mysterious.
It's pretty mysterious. I like that Ghost Rider is saying it. And this is kind of foreshadowing for my favorite part of the issue was that Ghost Rider is the voice of reason. Yeah. And that I fucking love that more than anything.
Yeah, it's like he's the principal trying to stop a food fight.
He really is. It's so awesome.
So it's such a weird issue.
And I love that in the background here, we are on a California highway and there's two cars colliding for no real reason other than just to show that there's a lot of shit going on. And I didn't see that car wreck in there, so I'm having a bit of a shot.
All right, me too.
So I dig this art, though. I love the way Kirby does Man-Thing. Actually, I like every character here. These are all good individual renderings.
That's an amazing cover. It's a busy. Layout-wise, it's really busy, but Nick Cardy's stellar art totally makes up for it.
But making it all about me, the viewer, makes the crazy busyness okay.
Yes.
God is in his heaven and everything else. I'm the center of the universe again. It's going to be a loose one, guys.
That's okay. We'll jump ahead to the opening page. So yeah, it says at the top, Stan Lee presents the Legion of Monsters. And it's kind of an introductory page that I actually think like the storytelling is wonderfully economical. Like it just tells you everything you need to know about each character just in this one page.
The opening page and sequence a little bit further on are my favorite parts.
This page is just, it's masterful.
It's the split screen of it, just the four dudes, and it's like gets it out of the way who they are. Like you're a first time reader picking this up. It's so fun. It's just such a like.
It's all you'd ever need to know. So like you were saying, Brad, it's a full page illustration that's cut into four long rectangular panels. And first one introduces Man-Thing, then Ghost Rider, then Morbius, and then Jack Russell the Werewolf. And the
constipated Jack Russell.
It's something. It's
trying to have a movement on the roof.
It's something that Jim Shooter would implement later, and a lot of comics do, and Marvel even does it now with like its X titles and stuff with those like quick like introductory things on page one or something like that. And this is just so blatantly that's what it is, but it's done because it's not hiding itself. It's cool. It's just really cool. It's just like
I think it's far superior to any of the stuff that the Shooter edict, because when people were forced to do this, I think they didn't do a very good job. But this is just the storytelling is so good. And like the tense of the narration that you're getting for each of these panels is this, like with the Man-Thing. It's like, once you were a man, a chemist, you know, and then for each monster it goes through and says, you are Johnny Blaze, once a spawn of Satan. And so it just gives a real, you know, streamlined introductory little bit of text on each of these panels. Fucking masterful. I'm going to be posting this page. So
I'm going to air out one thing real quick to get it out of the way. I hate his fucking bike so much.
The Skullsicle?
The Skullsicle.
I am just, this is this weird period where they tried it out in the run of Ghost Rider comics, where I like what he's up to. I like when he goes and moves to Los Angeles to become a stuntman for movies, which I think is cool. That's like something I like to see Johnny Blaze do. They don't really land that at all. Like everything in the Ghost Rider comics, like I like the idea of it, and nothing ever works in it. Like they never. We're in the middle of Ghost Rider right now. Is like they could never figure out why he turns. No consistency with that. Or like who's in control. It always was be like sometimes, Johnny Blaze would just be like, now I control the changes. Or sometimes, fear's around or danger's around. Or it's just so slapdash and sloppy. So they're still figuring that out. But this is this period where they decided to he should have a fucking motorcycle, like a rat rod motorcycle that's on fire. It doesn't need to be shaped like a skull. This is like the beginning. I hate it so much. I love him just on a fucking awesome, mean looking bike. And whenever they gimmick it up, it drives me nuts. It's why I'm a purist about my Ghost Rider. I like stunt leather, existential, Easy Rider, Black Sabbath, Ghost Rider. All right. Like that's what I dig. I do not like heavy metal Ghost Rider. I don't like the chains and the Judas Priest leather daddy look. Yeah. You know, I've never dug it, even though that's a really popular version of the character. I'd say the most popular version of the character.
For sure.
And I understand its appeal, and it's sort of weird that I don't like that, but it just, it's just because I just love the Johnny Blaze thing. And I hate this bike more than any other bike he's ever had. The Dan Ketch bike is pretty fucking stupid too. Mm-hmm. With it, because it also must let you know it's a skull, which I just hate. The giant round fucking it's like, no, it should be a chopper or a rat rod or like something mean looking. This looks like a toy. He's like driving around in a toy. Any like biker dude in the 70s would have just been like, what the fuck are you driving, man?
It looks like the Legion of Doom's hideout in Super Friends.
Yeah,
it does.
As a bike.
Yeah.
No, he needed a spider car.
So and it's like, okay, fine, you're gonna gimmick up his bike a little bit. It looks like a fly. It doesn't even look like a fucking demonic skull.
No, it doesn't at all.
I don't like that to begin with, but if you're gonna do it, make it a little scary, and it's just like this dorky. It crushes it, because the thing that Ghost Rider is appealing across the board to people is, as a visual, there's just something cool about a dude on a bike with a flaming skull. It's just cool looking.
Yeah.
And it's like it mutes that with this stupid faceplate thing. It lasted for a few issues in the title, and then smartly they went back to the right bike and stayed the proper bike for the rest of the run. Thank fucking God. But yeah, so we're in the middle of that, and I just had to point that out because I hate this bike. I hate it. The color of it, it's so fucking garish. Like he's on this like silver toy bike. It looks like a Happy Meal toy. I hate it so much. It's like something the Moon Dude would drive from McDonald's. You get the little Moon Dude toys, the Mac Tonight.
Mac Tonight would drive it? Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
toys
about.
when you're a kid, and you'd be on like a Jeep or something like that. It's like it's like that, but it's still Ghost Rider. Anyway,
he'd drive that over to Early Birds when he's going to bang her.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that her name, Early Bird?
I think so. She's with the goggles.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that's Early Bird.
The avatar of breakfast.
Yeah. If somebody could please figure out what the fucking Grimace is, I'd like to know. I mean, I've got thoughts on like.
Well, he was a villain when they first started their live action or their ads in the early 70s. And that's why he was called Grimace. So he got rehab.
I know that, and I haven't been able to find the villainous representation of the Grimace.
Oh.
Because like the villain becomes, it's the Hamburglar becomes the villain, and you got the little chicken nugget dudes. and then you got the the Fry Guys, which are like, it's like this really, it's just bad HR Puffin stuff. And I guess they got sued by that dude too.
Yeah,
they did.
But real quick, did anybody else as a kid get fucking excited as shit around Halloween because they do the chicken nugget toys in like different, like this is the Dracula chicken nugget, this is the Mummy chicken nugget, and you like pull off their little costume and shit.
Yep.
Fucking ruled. Loved those. Had the Dracula one. I just ruled. Anyway.
But I think if you're an anarchist, Mayor McCheese is clearly the villain.
Oh well, yeah, clearly.
I'm also a fan of this opening page. These 4 eye-shaped rectangles here, introducing each character, very efficiently giving you their deal and who they are, and this is just solid economy here. So art-wise, before we dig into who this is with the titles or the credits on the next page, what are you guys' first hits on the art?
Feels rushed, but it's fine.
For me, I think it's I recognize Frank Robbins and his style. I just think that Steve Gann, the inker, had a pretty heavy line. I think he makes Frank Robbins stuff, which can sometimes be a little blocky. I think it gets real blocky.
Yeah, it's real blocky
with this issue.
Yeah, I kept kind of casting about trying to figure out like who on their worst day this reminded me of.
Yeah,
I was like, it's not Heck, it's not.
No, it's not. It's not Heck. I think this is a good day for Coletta.
Okay. Yeah.
The whole thing has a jobber feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nothing like it just feels like nondescript comics artwork of the era.
Totally.
Like it's pretty meat and potatoes, and it feels like it was done fast. Like,
oh yeah.
But in some instances, it really works for me. Like I actually like some of that quality in it.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. It moves. It's pretty, it's clear and it moves.
It's kinetic.
There are a couple panels that are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So on the next page, we get this nice Mantlo kind of thing talking about San Fernando Valley. It's a concrete scab beneath the desert sky. And all of a sudden, the ground starts shaking.
Who've never been to Los Angeles, describing Los Angeles, just fucking kill me.
Knew you were going to come in with that one.
The ground starts breaking up and shaking, and someone says, "Oh my God, it's happening again! Earthquake!" And this woman says, "It's just like that awful movie." Which, if you aren't a fan of 70s stuff, the disaster films were a huge thing culturally in the 70s. Airport and Earthquake and all that shit, burning, Towering Inferno. So they're commenting on that, and this guy says, "Lady, for you, I got news." Is that supposed to be like a Jewish thing? "Lady, for you, I got news."
Is it?
This ain't no movie. It's got such a weird way of saying that. But the street's breaking up, falling apart, folding in on itself. Cars are falling in. People are screaming. It's chaos.
Well, they're writing East Coast dialogue.
Yes,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Is like
it's like, like you can hear him speaking with the "Lady, for you, I got news." Like, you can hear him speaking for the front of his mouth.
You got it.
Yeah,
because he's typing this with his window open in New York City.
Yeah,
set in, exactly. And I love that, just to make sure that it is California, there's a guy wearing sandals in the street or those pajamas. We don't know, but it's crazy out there. But there's a very blocky, weird quality to this art that I find appealing. And I just kept casting about trying to figure out what, like the woman saying it's like that awful movie. Like she's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a cool style. It shouldn't work. And I know, Matt, our taste pretty well. And we shouldn't like this, I think, as much as we do and as much as it works. So, yeah, like you were describing at the bottom, there's a car that's about to crash. And on the next page, it's crashed into this mountain that has just arrived out of nowhere. And the narration says, "And through the haze that is the city's sky appears a vision of unholy terror as hurt and frightened people stare, unable to believe the message transmitted by their senses, unable to accept that," now we get the title, "there's a mountain on Sunset Boulevard." And yeah, we see a kind of a broken lamppost that's leaning over, and then it also says
there's not a distinguishable LA thing where it's like they just focus on the mountain because it's like they're too afraid like a low budget movie that's too afraid to like move the camera over and show that they're not shooting in LA.
Yeah, it absolutely
That's what
is.
the comic does, because there's like it's like Sunset Boulevard, but you would, unless they told you that, you would never know that based upon any of the interior artwork. I also want to point out that the blockiness and the artwork being rushed, I feel like most of these comics, because I read this digitally, I harp on this a lot, but this probably looked a lot better on newsprint with the colors, you know,
I'm sure
like
it does.
Yeah, because like they're just so garish. So really makes it blocky digitally for me reading it, you know.
How is this presented digitally? Because I just realized while Jacob was describing that page, the last panel I was describing bleeds over into the next page and this is actually a full page with insets. It's a 2-page spread with insets.
Yeah, it's funny, Matt, because normally if we get, you and I, the format for our show is we kind of alternate on pages. And most of the time, if whoever gets the first page of a 2-page spread just covers that whole thing. But I was like you, Matt, I didn't even notice this was a 2-page spread. I mean, obviously I'm reading on an iPad digitally, so it's not really showing as that either. But yeah, I just don't think it was a very well executed double-page spread.
Yeah, like when you said that car is careening off, I realized, oh my God, it's going into the next page, and this was all a bleeding illustration.
Yeah.
Did not notice that.
Yeah, and so as well as the title that we just got on the second page, we also have our creators, which
yes.
we had talked about before, but we'll just read them off. We have Bill Mantlo, writer, Frank Robbins, artist, Steve Gann, inker, Karen Mantlo, letterer, Janice Cohen, colorist, Marv Wolfman is vizier and editor this time. So
under his brief tenure.
Yeah, he's got like 8 months left.
Yeah.
He's counting the days at this point. But yeah, just like you were saying, it's just there's nothing that identifies this as being in LA at all, which is probably smart. The mountain has just destroyed any evidence of the actual city in the small window that we get of it. And
I see palm trees.
Okay, hey, yeah, you're right. I do.
The sign says US 1. Is that a highway?
I don't know.
Okay.
But no, as a double page spread, it's okay. But I do like this illustration of the mountain. It's goofy, but this whole fucking issue is goofy. So I just leaned in at this point.
So on the next page, we get to go into Johnny Blaze, who has just been thrown off his bike essentially by this crazy buckling of the roads, and says, either doing one stunt too many has rocked your brain, Blaze, or Hollywood's just got itself a mountain. And he's picking up his skull sickle. I'm going to say it that way each time.
By the way, during this period, Johnny Blaze is thumping Daredevil's ex, Karen, you know?
Oh, really?
Karen Page, really?
Yeah, because she moved to Hollywood.
Oh shit!
So they have a brief little fling.
Wow! All right.
Out in LA, you know, before she becomes a junkie porn star.
Okay.
She's too good for normal penis, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, Matt Murdock is the ultimate himbo. That guy rules. He gets more ass than a toilet seat.
Yeah.
He's just, and he does it in the right way because he's quiet about it. He's not like out in the world trying for it. You know what I mean? He doesn't
need to try.
He's not like a Tony Stark type figure who's like scamming for the women and like, they're just coming to him.
Yep.
He's just been with them all.
Yeah.
They just can't help themselves. Matt Murdock just lays the fucking pipe, and you can probably read their bodies like Braille, so it makes fucking sense. You know, word gets around in the Marvel U, like that dude will work you.
So he picks up his bike and he says, "The flick I was going to catch can wait." Up and at him, Skull Sickle. And I was wondering, Brad, if you would tell me, I looked up what was playing in theaters. I want you, because you're intimately familiar with Ghost Rider. What movie was Blaze going to see? Ilsa, Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks? A movie called Griffin and Phoenix with Columbo in it? The Lindbergh kidnapping case? Satan's Black Wedding? I'm assuming it's Satan's Black Wedding.
He wouldn't go see Satan's Black Wedding. He's embroiled in that.
The Killing of a Chinese Bookie?
You're saying that he needs an escape. He needs to go to the movies
like
to
the
escape.
last thing he'd want to go is like
Taxi Driver?
Is Taxi Driver out then?
Yes.
He'd be watching that. Because that'd be the hot movie at the time. He's in the biz. That'd be buzzing around as being the thing. He'd be going to see that.
Okay.
You know, or you know, I could see Johnny Blaze like really connecting with Bickle, even though Bickle's a loon and racist. like in the way that where it's just like, because at this point Johnny Blaze is pretty alone and feels like the whole world's against him.
Right.
You know, and he's a young man. I think he'd be all about that. The last thing he'd see is anything that's like Satan's anything. He's like, no, thank you. I live that every day.
Okay, last option, The Killing Machine, starring Sonny Street Fighter Chiba.
I don't think he's that cultured.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
He's a dude from the sticks who rides bikes. He's just now come to this big city. I don't see him being like, yeah, I'm going to go check out a martial arts film. Maybe he appreciates that kind of stuff too. I don't know. I just have a feeling he'd be going to see Taxi Driver.
Okay. I'm happy with that answer.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
That works for me.
So Blaze gets up on his bike, goes revving off, jumps off of some, broken up concrete. And he says, my head tingling, danger must be present. And so exit Johnny Blaze and enter Ghost Rider, and his flesh burns off and his skull becomes encased in flame. I guess, is that how that works? Danger? Tingling?
Yeah, it's all.
I don't remember this.
They don't settle, like, it initially is that when Ghost Rider first starts out, like, it's like their crime is, or like evil souls are around and then he'll turn. But it also sometimes was just at night. He would just turn at night. And then it became Johnny Blaze would just turn whenever it was convenient. And that's what it constantly is writers on deadlines going, I need Johnny Blaze to turn into Ghost Rider right here, but it doesn't work for my story. So I'll throw in a quick thing of being like, maybe I can wrestle it under control and call it to myself. And it's just all over the map with that character. It's like why his power set. It's why the comic, though I love it to death, never truly functions, because it could never, ever find a line that like works for telling good stories. So what you got is like this really awesome concept, and then like a couple issues that are just like, whoa, that was really rad. Like when Starlin steps in, I find that the less it veers toward superhero story and more toward just like wayward weirdo on some existential problem is like, those are the best issues. Or like when a good guy comes in to try to beat him, like when he fights Doctor Strange, like those are fun. But when it's like villain of the week stuff, it's just like, well, how do we Ghost Rider him up?
Yeah.
I don't know. He had a can of Mr. Pibb. It's turning him into Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Well,
he's got irritable bowel syndrome.
Well, this time I'm surprised that he didn't, eat a Hostess pie and turn into Ghost Rider, which is right about now. They're running those ads. So
yes, they are.
Disgusting things.
Yes, goddamn, I'm
are you
lousy with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Pete's got to save Aunt May. He's just got to get these Hostess pies to give to the kidnappers. But
yeah, my mom and dad would buy those fucking things when I was really little, just bags of them. And you'd leave them in the freezer so they wouldn't go bad, and then you take the ones out.
They go bad?
Yeah. I don't know.
Anything from Hostess goes bad?
I don't know, but like that was like the plan, and then go out and I'd get these things in my lunch, and it's like there's a lot of things that I like didn't like but have nostalgia for. Now I'm like, oh yeah, no, I kind of miss that, Now I have zero. I fucking hate fruit pies, so it's just the worst shit.
They're so sweet.
Yeah,
they're so disgusting. Yeah. That fucking bread, just the driest crustal plate bread, and then you've got like what is some sort of fruit loogie hawked into the middle of it. Yeah. It's like fucking. It's like somebody took a strawberry flavored slug and just threw it in there.
Well, the outside is coated with the sugar jizz too. It's just like that.
Yeah.
I think I'd be pretty stoned to eat one of those nowadays.
Well, we're going to lose them as a sponsor, but that's fine.
Well, you know what? I took a stand like Kaepernick. So, okay. So Blaze is approaching this mountain. He's riding up into this, this weird break between concrete and a mountainside. And there's weird birds that he's never seen before, singing weird songs he's never heard. And then a voice says, "Welcome, Johnny Blaze, to paradise." And he says, "Who in?"
Yeah, I think this page art-wise is a little unremarkable, but it gets the job done. And that's the thing. Like every page, even if it's not stellar and stunning, the storytelling is really well done.
The adequatiousness overflows.
Adequosity. Indeed. I did like the next page a little bit more, though. On the top of the next page, we see Morbius, and there's a lot of text there, especially for this issue. He's basically kind of reminiscing which I actually went and read. It was the final issue of his series, which came out, I think, like 4 months before this, if I'm correct. And it's Adventures into Fear, or Fear 31. And I read it, but I kind of jumped in. I hadn't read like the last much into the 20s of his run. And Martine was a vampire, but then they cured her. And thought it was weird. Simon Stroud like weirdly tries to use silver bullets on vampires and just like kind of forgets. And then even like as he's doing it, he's like, oh, what am I doing? Silver bullets aren't going to do anything here.
Silver affects vampires and lots of.
But also, true. He's not a magical vampire.
No, he's not a magical vampire.
That makes no sense. You're right about
that. So none of the magical elements work on him. So
no, it was kind of a fuck of an issue.
Eventually, he becomes.
It kind of makes sense though, because if he has this blood disease and that's led to his ultimate curse of being a living undead, and silver is known for being a pure element, I can kind of see how someone might make that leap.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the Blade take in the movies, where it's like the silver is almost like they're allergic to it. You know, it's less of like, because you can't in Blade the movie, you know, you can't hurt him with a cross. You know, he's like using tech weapons and shit. But yeah, Morbius eventually does become, I think, a magical vampire through some circuitous route with Lilith and shit. Like in the 90s,
I forgot about that.
Suddenly, it's just like,
That's some 90s shit right there.
Yeah, that is some deep 90s.
We're going to announce our next podcast, which is we're going to do the full run of the Spirits of Vengeance, Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns? I would sign up for that.
Yeah.
For the fucking artwork, I would. Yeah, there's some banger Kubert art and Texera and stuff like that. That's just like,
I love
awesome.
Texera.
Yeah, the Texera issues are really good. I actually have gone back and reread some of that stuff when I signed up for Marvel U, and
I've always been a big fan of the Kubert brothers too. I think they're
great.
Yes.
Underrated for how popular they are.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, hugely popular but not celebrated enough. I agree.
Yeah, I'd take a Kubert comic over Jim Lee any day of the week.
Oh fuck yes! Are you kidding
but
me?
Absolutely.
And like I understand Jim Lee, you know, it got better draftsmanship, but they are both of sort of like a look that is sort of like, this is comics of this time, but like Kubert brothers just kept getting better and better and better.
Oh,
and their posing and things they do, it just ruled. It ruled, and they almost never get brought up by like people like, man, the Kubert brothers really rocked my world. But I'd rather see Kubert, Andy, or Adam, right? Do a fight between Wolverine and Sabretooth than just about any of the other X-Men guys who were drawing at the time, you know?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're getting, you know, he does his whole, you know, remembering what happened in Fear 31 and is basically just kind of, you know, flying around, and he sees a kind of a shadowed form on a rooftop, and he swoops down because he's got the bloodlust, because he's Morbius. And he says his will be the blood that eases the torment of my soul. And so he goes down, smashes into the shadowed figure.
I think you guys have to take a drink.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do. Because he doesn't recognize
he's
the werewolf.
Oh, God,
until he gets right up on him.
Until he has literally tackled him, turned him around. So he has to see his face.
And it's a werewolf he already knows.
He knows this guy. Yeah. And so he says, Lord, man, you're the werewolf? And then we get a little editor's note that is like, Morb and Wolfie met once before in Giant Size Werewolf number 4. Remember? Marv.
We remember because they had a slap down or knockdown drag out duel. It was pretty rad.
Yeah. At the tar pits.
Yeah, I liked that one.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, we drink because someone didn't know it was a werewolf until they got right up there. So we drink.
I don't remember the last time that happened.
Can
I say
good.
How much I fucking love Robin's werewolf on the bottom left panel of this page?
How badass is that?
That is one of my favorite renderings of him so far.
Oh, it's so good. He looks terrifying. It doesn't
look like Lon Chaney. It's not Universal Wolfman. It is somewhere between a dog man and a wolf man. Like, it's actually pretty fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and he's not. He's obviously just in his bestial form. He's not speaking. He doesn't say a word this whole issue. Brad, I knew you would love this because
I love this.
He acts like a
and he's
werewolf.
Dangerous.
He doesn't.
I can't remember, but I don't think anyone dismisses him with a quick judo throw.
Nope.
Like, he's actually like what I always kind of want is like it should be a liability that he's a werewolf, and it's never a liability.
Yeah.
Oh, no, in the Legion of Monsters, he is the loose cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Finally.
Finally.
And I also like that art, the next panel, when it says talons rake moon white flesh, and he just backhands Morbius. Morbius looks like some kind of like Tex Avery cartoon or something like that, where his hair's even like like going all crazy Einstein. He got hit so hard. So the two creatures are facing off, and he's like, "Hey, monster man, Morbius must have your blood, creature." So apparently he is wanting to go back in for a second drink, and then the tremors start happening again, and they look up and see the mountain looming over Los Angeles, and Morbius is like, "Hey, we got to investigate this. I'm a scientist. I have to check this out." And then we cut to the swamps, Florida Everglades, I guess. It says there's life amongst stagnation of the swamps this night, life unheedful of other life, life shut off from life, human life. And there's a little old dude wearing like a felt hat and like he's like a drunk fucking Ted Nugent dude. And he's like sitting in a boat fishing. He says, "Gonna catch me a big one. Gonna break a record. Make those guys back at the B&O bar choke on their beers. Gonna, hey, a strike." And so he starts pulling on his rod. He's like, not like that, but he's like, "Feel her pull. That hook must be tearing her lip off." But in the foreground, we see a very familiar swamp creature, forearm and claw, approaching this guy from behind. And it says, "You draw close to it, like a moth to a flame." And this is a good point where we should point out that largely the narration is to Man-Thing, or about Man-Thing's experience here, which is true. Coming from his book, right? Because Man-Thing can't speak. But I thought that was interesting. I didn't notice that until like halfway through this issue. I was like, "Oh, that's right. Like that's kind of cool." They have to, because you don't have to, but I mean, it helps us connect as the reader to him empathetically in some sense, to have things described and how he's experienced them, because he is a very tragic and depressing kind of figure ultimately in Marvel.
But you're right. That's a really good, because they could have gone with the easy choice, since Ghost Rider is the character in this story that is, kind of thinking on his feet, is just trying to help things, trying to fix things. But so it would have been easy to have him be the narrator, but having Man-Thing, it really does remind you of how tragic of a figure he is, because he's thinking all these amazing things and he really is understanding, but he can't say it. He can't tell people this. And so, it's a great move to have him be the narrator.
Nice work by Mantlo there.
I have a question. I think this is a me problem, because like it's been a while since I've read the Gerber Man-Thing. That was Gerber, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of these things run into one. How in the fuck did he get to L.A.?
We need to address this. This is
so they
coming
do
page.
Say it in the comic.
No, but
okay.
Jacob has that burden.
Yeah, well, let's.
I just want to know. I was like, did I miss something?
No.
Is it a part of his power set? You know how?
Nope.
Okay.
No, it is not. So, like you said, Matt, on that bottom page, the fisherman is saying, "Oh, that hook must be tearing her lip off," and then he pulls the fish out of the swamp and turns around, and is just like, "Oh my God, get back, keep away from me." And so that's his normal reaction, which is what people normally react to Man-Thing. But then he says, "I landed this baby, and there ain't no one going to take her away from me. Not even a walking hunk of swamp." And then and so he just tears away. And then I love that Man-Thing his narration is like, "You are amazed. He knew you for what you are, only there was no fear in him. His petty concerns had taken over his mind to the point where you were just a momentary annoyance." Which this never happens to Man-Thing. So I'm sure he's like, "Holy shit, this is great." And then, so the guys run away, and Man-Thing is now it says, "The air shimmers about the muck that is your body. You turn to face the mountain that was not there a moment before. Its peaks beckon you, and not knowing why or how, you leave the Florida swamps and climb up the hills of a memory."
Yeah, I had to read that a few times, and I still don't understand it.
Well, he basically is I don't know, teleporting there basically, but it almost seems like it's a Twin Peaks Red Room curtain kind of thing, that it's just like,
yeah.
jumps into.
But is this because it's the nexus of all realities that he guards?
Yeah, I mean, I think he can do this, right? Like, I mean,
that's what I was asking. Like,
on purpose? I think, or does fate present these things to him like he's supposed to be there?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember from the comics. Is like, because I know that he's got that sort of like title there, and that is that sort of also like a revolving door for how he gets other places and when they're presented. I just couldn't remember. I'm like, did they address this at all? The comic is just not clear about it. You'd think there'd be a little footnote.
No, there is not.
And it's just like, he's in LA. There we go.
He just showed up there. And again, maybe that's the economy of storytelling that they're doing on this, which, you called it a rush job. Yeah, the economy of rush job. I feel my theory is that this was somehow like a roughly penciled inventory story about Starseed that we're going to meet later, and that they just kind of repurposed it into this weird Legion of Monsters thing. That was my.
It's a good call. Yeah, that's a good call.
Something weird. It's not quite a from scratch rush job, but I don't think it's an inventory story either. I think it lies somewhere in between. And
if so, then it's responsible for what is my actual favorite part of the comic, and we will find it.
Yeah, so
I do love, Jacob, before we move on, this panel of the Man-Thing being drawn towards the peak, and there's like the cast of Bambi like all surrounding him. There's a chipmunk and a deer and two birds. Those are all from the peak, right? Like the same way that Johnny heard
strange birds
he'd never seen before singing songs that were new to him.
Yep.
This is his lush life. Okay.
Yeah, so he goes towards this new fauna that he is seeing. And it says, like you said, you leave the Florida swamps and climb up the hills of a memory. And it says then the next panel, a memory shared by others. Yeah, Morbius is there. He starts to, fly up. He's like, I must explore further. He says, farewell, creature, talking to the werewolf. Morbius will not drain you this night. And then the next picture is just Jack the werewolf just going fucking nuts, just leaping and roaring, and his arms are all, his limbs are all akimbo, all these different ways. And it says, but the werewolf is not so easily forgotten.
And then on the next page, he continues kind of scrapping with Morbius, and he looks like he's built like dad bod, like with
that. That's my least favorite. Yeah, it's my least favorite panel of the issue. And I'm sure you guys noticed this too. He looks like he's shrunken, made of, Play-Doh, and he's kind of melting or something. Really weird panel.
Yeah, it's rushed.
So, yeah, Morbius is like, what? You want to fight me now, you fucking dumb beast? But I have no interest in you. And hey, here's another piece of the puzzle. And he sees the Johnny Blaze's bike, and he's trying to approach that and figure out what's going on. And you're right, Brad, that is a garish fucking vehicle.
I hate that thing.
And Morbius says, its engine is still warm. He who rode it cannot be far off. And then they see Man-Thing lumbering towards him. What? In the forest? What manner of place is this that spawns such nightmares? And they hear a voice saying, welcome, friends. And Morbius says, good Lord. And the beast starts growling.
Yeah, I love that bottom panel. I know the beast looks really goofy, but it almost looks like he's maniacally laughing. But I love that panel. Just even though Morbius, his face also looks kind of melted in that one panel, but I love them all looking up.
Yeah.
These like really shocked, scared faces. And we see on the next page. So yeah, this is, as I'm sure you guys had the same experience, this is when I was just like, wait a second. I didn't expect this. So it's a full-page illustration of a gleaming golden man on a golden horse who says, I am he who is called the Starseed. I bid you welcome. And so his horse is rearing up. It's like steam shooting out of its nostrils. And like you said in the beginning, Matt, the first thing I thought of was the Beyonder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yeah.
This is my favorite part of the comic. This is when I was reading it, when I got to this panel, I'm like, I actually said out loud, oh, now we got ourselves a comic here. Yeah. Like this is fucking wild. Because when you think like a Legion of Monsters story, like there's usually like an umbrella of sort of like things that you would associate with, could be adversarial or part of the journey of it. a haunted castle, a supernatural being of some kind. And instead it's like full on Jack Kirby weirdness.
Yeah.
Like and then I realized once that happened, like this has all been kind of written in a Jack Kirby way. The sounds of strange birds, that sort of like way he writes comics, where like it's all sort of declamatory, you know? And I'm like, this is this weird, it's almost like Mantlo and those is like seeing what Kirby's doing over at DC, I think right now.
Yeah.
And just, and kind of, it's like a full, like space aliens that came and did stuff, took mankind.
Gods, all that stuff.
It's all that shit that's Kirby's into. And even the design of the character is somewhat where it's got sort of a, like, classical meets space shit going on, and he's all gold and shit. And I'm like, this is fucking wild. Like, we've got a vampire, a werewolf, a fucking muck monster, and a dude on a motorcycle, and they're gonna like, and then what we don't know he's an alien at the time. You've got this just crazy gleaming like Grecian god, just on a horse, and he's like gigantic, and he's drawn fucking awesome through the whole issue. He looks awesome. He's just so weird in this. He's more blocky than them, like the way his face is and stuff. He just looks so cool and so weird. It's my absolute favorite part because it's the last thing I saw coming at all. And the comic kind of goes a little bit downhill after this, but once I saw that thing, I'm like, this is worth the price of admission. This is a whole talk about rush job. The pieces they lay on the table, it's just like, if they had more time, I don't even think they'd take such a stupid swing.
Right.
Like,
I think we all felt like, I think we're all in agreement that this has Kirby's fingerprints all over it. It's like Forever People and Eternals.
Totally,
and all that stuff. Yeah, totally. It was a welcome surprise for sure.
Yep.
Bananas.
It's not Tatterdemalion. So yeah, the next page, they're all just looking up Transfixed, like, what in the hell is this thing? And he says, "Have I not said it, brothers? I am he who was lost and is found. I am the Starseed." And Ghost Rider says, I know you, like a dream I used to have as a kid, a dream of angels all in gold. And he says, "Yes, I am those and more." And he extends his hand and fireworks come out of it or something. He's like, "Dream again, my brother son. In dreams alone are all things real."
That's
Brother
Jack
Son,
Kirby as fuck. All of
yes.
it.
My Brother Son gave me some weird cult
dreams.
vibes that made me uncomfortable. But yeah.
Because it's like, I am in your dreams, and then never address that again. That's how Kirby would roll, where it's just like, you just dash off insanity.
They all know him. It's like that Joseph
forward.
Campbell collective conscious thing. Yeah.
Ghost Rider dreamt of him as a child.
Yeah, and it's just dashed off. It's just completely.
So awesome. I don't know. Kirby's going to be back at Marvel not too long from the publishing of this issue, right?
No.
For what?
Well, he comes back after New Gods and the Demon to do
Eternals.
The Eternals, yeah.
That's right. That was a year or so after this, huh?
Yeah, it's only a year or two after this, I think. So
you're right. Forgot about that. The timeline.
Yeah, but I do love how I keep calling him Starseed, but he is the Starseed.
Yeah,
and I love how he's drawn in this. It's so well done.
It's like the Beyonder and Starbrand had a drunken night together, and this was what came out.
Yeah, or if this is how I wanted the Beyonder to look in Secret Wars 2, not with shoulder pads,
Hasselhoff.
Fucking Hasselhoff suit on. Like, this is what the fucking Beyonder should have materialized as.
You're right.
Not as some mall perv.
Rich mall perv.
He looks awesome. He looks epic.
And we get a epic story to go with his gold visage on the next page. So, wow.
For every bit of awesomeness that is him, what's coming up is so dumb. This is one drawing. Keep going. Sorry.
Oh no, I know exactly what you mean. So okay, like we said, the storytelling is pretty streamlined in this issue. So we just have one 5-panel page with a ton of text that gives a pretty slapdash origin. So it's basically like, I'm going to try to summarize because I really don't want to read all this. But he's saying, kind of, once upon a time, man was exactly the way he is now, a killer, killing for food or shelter. Then he says, we, on the other hand, were different. So we left. We went to the mountain. And it was a good place, a peaceful, quiet place. And we evolved and built it into all the comforts of home. And it shows these kind of, like Greek kind of classical.
He looks like Isaiah from New Gods.
Oh, yeah, he totally does.
Before Isaiah becomes Allfather. Like, I'm telling you, this feels like somebody was sitting down and digging New Gods. Because I know the audiences didn't like it, but I know that, like, there's a subsect of the artists and writers who were like, Kirby's rushing this because they're all Kirby stands.
Well, yeah, all these guys are in their 20s, so like they love Kirby. So of course they're going to try and crib as much of his style and storytelling.
And New Gods is my favorite Kirby thing, so I'm very hyper familiar with it. And it just reeks of like, it's like that issue 6, I think, where you get the story of Allfather when he's Isaiah. And Steppenwolf is the big bad guy, and what's his name? Darkseid is just like a lackey, and it reeks of that on this page, like all that kind of like the way the lore is doled out.
It does until the third panel.
Yes,
and so all these people that live on the mountain are looking up at the sky. It's like, look, I see it, Laura. It's a glowing thing in the sky. And it was an alien starship, says far beyond the rim of the galaxy. We watched as the ship landed, as the portals opened, and the aliens emerged. Oh, my God. It's like a clip art alien. It's like a cut and paste. Like, I don't even know how to describe
but what's
it.
Coming
It's
up
so
is
stupid.
Even funnier. Yeah, it's a terrible design.
It's a notch above the Simpsons aliens.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Good call, yeah.
Yeah, if they had like snakes for arms, basically.
Elephant trunks for arms.
So, we'll just call him Isaiah now. And he said, and we tried to communicate peacefully with them, but such was not their temperament. Within moments, our leaders were dead. And using a science far beyond any we had ever dreamed of, grapples of incalculable force were attached to our mountain, and our homeland was stolen out from under us, never to be seen again. So the flying saucer, which is a flying saucer, like
the dopiest.
It's a flying saucer with a giant
it looks
claw.
like what you draw when you're a little kid.
Yeah,
it does. That panel could have been drawn by
not Von Daniken or whatever.
When I saw that panel, I laughed so hard because it just literally had, like, with technology you couldn't even dream of it. It's just like the teeniest little fork hands grabbing the mountain.
It's like salad
tongs. Has a flat bottom.
It's like from a claw game at a bowling alley or something. It just goes down, picks up the mountain.
Totally. And the mountain's like has this flat bottom. And the claws are like barely. It looks like something a little kid. It's like what's his name let like his like nephew draw a panel. All you gotta do is do a spaceship, and he's just like, hell, I'll keep it. It's so funny. It's so bizarre. It's like, oh yeah, there's a reason why Jack Kirby's Jack Kirby, and these people are jobbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that concludes the tale of Starseed. That's his origin, his riveting origin that he's telling these monsters.
So did you notice, Jacob, that in the first panel of this flashback here, talking about earlier brutal man, that one was beating the other with a jawbone of an ass?
I did notice that.
Probably not an intentional callback, but probably more of a 2001 reference than anything else. But
yeah, probably.
Again, very Kirby.
Yeah, very Kirby. He did the adaptation.
He did the adaptation, and that's all up his wheelhouse. You guys read the stuff he did that's after that, where he actually wrote the book 2001, like continuing adventures.
That's what I want to read. Is the stuff where he went off book.
Yeah, it's bananas.
We also get Starseed's name. In ancient times, he was called Jard with 2 A's.
Yeah, Jard.
So, pretty goofy spaceship there with salad tongs carrying a mountain away. And we go to the next page.
Keep in mind, this is a comic where, like, a page before, it's a bunch of, like, it's the Monster Squad having a fist fight. And now we're within a page, we have a one-eyed tentacle alien in a flying saucer taking a mountain way in, like, Mesopotamia. Like,
but don't
in
worry,
the cradle of civilization.
They're going to go back to punching real quick.
Oh yeah. So Jard Starseed that's his legal name on his ID, wraps this up by saying, a lot of us were hidden inside the caves in that mountain, so we went with them out to space. And we waited in time. We overcame the aliens utilizing their far advanced technology. We regained control and flipped a Yui and came back to Earth. And so now we're here. And I'm the only one left, all my people, and I'm just the last one.
And I'm on a booby safari. I've come to Earth.
Yeah.
And Johnny Blaze is like, oh, that's just peachy, friend, except for one slight muddle. You parked your mountain right smack dab in the middle of Los Angeles, which, while it ain't much to go on about, is still home to a heck of a lot of people. And Starseed's like, hey, dude, I just returned the mountain to where it was originally, all right? Don't get on my ass. And Morbius like, what? That place is gone ages ago. The Earth has changed since the continents have shifted from your time. And then, for some reason, Ghost Rider just notices Morbius is like, huh? Who the heck are you? And then he turns around and sees the werewolf. Like, and for that matter, the same goes for you. But the werewolf, in awesome werewolfness, says, fuck it. You're doing a lot of yabbering. I don't give a shit. And just claws out, dives for Starseed. And he says, you attack me, brother? Why? For what reason? The werewolf just mounts the guy on top of his own horse. Says, yes. Unfortunately, if there's one thing a werewolf doesn't need, it's a reason. The golden steed screams.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, this is an awesome turn of events that the werewolf basically just starts the party because
just a ripcord. He just goes.
Yeah, and then on the next page, Ghost Rider's like, "What are you doing?" And Morbius starts, going right after him towards Starseed. And he's like, no, the thirst is upon me once again. And it cries out for the blood of the golden one. And you can see, Ghost Rider's back there just with his hands up. He's like, what the fuck just happened? This guy was just talking about space and brotherhood. And then suddenly
Ram Jam's Black Betty just started on the jukebox all of a sudden. So just fucking stand back and deal with it.
Yeah. So, oh my God. So he's screaming at them. He's thinking, like, I can't tell if it's me that's nuts or everything else around here. But Starseed didn't mean any harm. So crazy or not, I'm going to help him. So, yeah, Johnny Blaze, voice of reason. And he goes towards this. He's about to go try and help. And he's starting to turn around. He's like, what's that awful smell? Like a swamp or something. And he turns around. And he's like, another one. He says, get back or all, and he starts to shoot Man-Thing with his hellfire. And he's like, for crying out loud, even my hellfire doesn't stop it. We get down to the Man-Thing narration, which is, he's forgetting what you look like to others, forgetting that you are the Man-Thing. And that is not an easy thing to forget. And so I loved this, that he kind of basically seems to have forgotten where his motorcycle is until he trips over it. He's like tripping over something, falling, the skull cycle. That he jumps on. He's like, bike, I love you. Let's get as far away from that walking peat bog as fast as your little wheels can carry us.
Hate every line of dialogue here.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider talking like Beaver Cleaver,
Yeah.
He's talking
gee willikers, my bike. Like, no, man. He summons a bike when his bike is out of commission, he summons a bike out of fire. He's the fucking Ghost Rider.
Gee, Wally.
Yeah. He's way more wheat cakes than Peter Parker ever was.
Yeah. He's like a little rascal episode or something.
It's so great.
The pathos, though, in the middle left there, the Man-Thing is not trying to hurt Ghost Rider. It says, but you have no mouth with which to communicate your desire, so all you can do is reach out. So trying to communicate and connect with another being is what causes this conflict. Like it's a constant theme with Man-Thing.
It's every interaction he has.
His loneliness.
And yeah.
That's why I like him so damn much.
No. There's a fix for this issue with that in mind that they don't quite land on, which I think may have made it holistically better,
Yeah, definitely. So Ghost Rider's approaching and says, Starseed's down. That refugee from a Lon Chaney film has unhorsed him and then falling right into my path. So he swerves to avoid hitting them. And then the werewolf is on top of Starseed, choking him. And he says, why, brother? Are you mad? Why are you doing this? And Morbius says, because we are cursed, Golden One, cursed to walk the earth as freaks and monsters, while you, in your absence from humanity, have managed to attain perfection. For reminding us of what we might have been, you will die beneath our fangs. I love this moment.
It's awesome.
This was my favorite part of the issue. That he's saying, I am golden perfection here to bring you the light. And they're saying, we know, and that's why we want to kill you. I love it.
It's badass.
And so Ghost Rider's like, no, blast you, no. And he's shooting at them. Leave him alone. The Golden One can wait, intruder, until I've sampled the blood within your veins. So now he wants Ghost Rider because he was shooting Hellfire at him.
And what's his plan on that?
He's got the bloodlust. He's not planning a whole lot.
I mean,
does Johnny Blaze have a neck right now?
A cursory glance of the flaming skull and the spinal column attached to it and whatnot, I think would let him know that he's made of fire. I don't know how you're going to do that one. Like,
that's what you need to tell him. He's made of fire.
I get his blood. I get him like attacking him, like, don't get in my way. But he's like, oh, the bloodlust. I'm going to drink. Like, come on, he's not stupid. This is just so weird. It's just so weird.
No, it's really weird, and it continues on the next page. Ghost Rider is driving away, and he says, "First a werewolf, and now a vampire. This is like a 3D version of the Monster Mash. But those teeth of his are for real. Unless I want a ventilated neck, I'd better ditch this bird, but fast." Oh yeah, his lines in this are really bad.
Hearing him out loud, really doesn't help.
Not how Johnny Blaze talks. Damn it.
No. And so, in that second panel, we see the Beast is just repeatedly slashing at that starseed that says, the man who is a wolf is killing the stranger. You see this and move closer to help. This is Man-Thing's narration again. But the stranger does not need your help, because we see Starseed finally get up. He says, off, and, smacks the Beast away, and he flies over past Man-Thing. And as he's watching this, we see Morbius finally catch Ghost Rider. He says, your vehicle gives you wings, intruder, but its speed is not enough. So we see that happen. And then the final page, Man-Thing says, and again, you reach out for understanding. Starseed's like, I have been hurt? Pain, it is strange to me, and I fear it. Then you're like, uh-oh, I know what's coming next.
It's been a while since I read Man-Thing. Does he usually have fingernails? I thought he was kind of beyond fingernails, like Brundlefly.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think those things fell off long ago. But it's kind of it's an interesting stylistic choice. I can see that.
Okay.
If you're just having the hand, I can see choosing that.
Yeah, so this might be confusing to those of you who have not read any Man-Thing stories, but he has a particular ability, and we saw it a little bit earlier, but it's more explicitly explained here. We hear a blood-curdling scream, and Ghost Rider says, that scream, like someone's just lost his soul. And then Starseed is freaking out as his arm is bursting out in flame as Man-Thing touches his shoulder. It says, but as you extend your hand, the golden being grasps the concept of fear for the first time in his entire existence. And whoever knows fear burns at the Man-Thing's touch. So he's, bursting into flame. I didn't know he could know fear, but yeah. So Ghost Rider kicks Morbius off. No! Get off me, you half-baked Dracula. And then he drives by Man-Thing and shoots him with his Hellfire and says, I don't know whether you can be killed or not. I mean, how do you murder a swamp? But if you've hurt a monster, I'll find a way to get you. I swear it. And yeah, it seems to be kind of hitting Man-Thing pretty hard. Like he's swamp, but he's blasting back and some detritus is coming off of him. Now the werewolf is going after him. It's like hurting kittens. He's like, must figure that he's a free meal since he isn't moving. But you're not going to get him, furry. So back off before I fry your ugly hide. And he starts blasting him with Hellfire. And he's like, that ought to hold them for, hey, you're alive. And Starseed says, yes. Oh. And while we're turning pages here, one of the aforementioned Hostess Twinkie ads comes up, and Peter is saving Aunt May from kidnappers. Well, I'll be. He tricked us. This case is full of Hostess Twinkies. I love that golden sponge cake and the delicious creamy filling, but I was really looking forward to some delicious money.
Hey, all the Marvel and DC superheroes at this point are getting all jacked up on Twinkies.
Oh, yeah.
It's powering the big two right now. Yeah, on the next page, so Starseed is totally dying. I actually like this page. So Starseed is dying, and he says, but I am passing like a dream. I am not home. I know that now. This is a place of pain, of imperfection. I could have made it otherwise. Could have given you hope. And then he waves his hand over each of the monsters. Each one of them turns back into their human form, like seemingly kind of cured of their monster afflictions. And so, each one kind of turns back into his human, says, the Man-Thing says, I'm Ted Sallis again. And we see Jack says, and me, I'm Jack Russell. My shaggy side is gone. Starseed, every time he does this, he's like, yes, I'm curing you. And then at the end, he says, but I am passing and the dream cannot be maintained. And then suddenly all of them have returned to their monster forms. And I do like how, even though it's kind of goofy, they all look really horrified. They were like, oh shit, this guy really could have helped us. Yeah. He's a rich kid. He's an annoying rich kid, basically. But he totally could have cured us and we fucked up. And so, yeah, Starseed is just dead. The werewolf murdered him. And then Ghost Rider checks out and the monsters are all taken off. He says they're leaving, wandering back down the mountain, back to wherever they came from. I can still change back to normal, but I have a hunch that for them, normal just isn't possible. What did you guys think of the of each of the transformations back? It was almost like their monster identities were like a coat that they just took off or something. Like it's
a mantle.
It's like a weird mantle thing. I know it's corny, but I kind of liked it.
I liked it.
I thought it was cool. Like particularly Morbius, like it almost looks like his human form is coming out of the mouth of the living vampire form of him, like in an astral form.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved all the illustrations of the men when they change back into form.
Yeah, the way he draws Jack Russell, the super hip, cool kind of like exaggerated. I don't know. He just looks fucking badass.
He looks rad. He looks like Commandi's really cool uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd like have a sip of whiskey. That kind of uncle.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty neat little sequence.
So we've mentioned this a couple times throughout this run of the show, but like there's just a couple characters here and there where it's just like, why was this not ever utilized? Like I understand, most of these guys are freak of the week, murdered by the werewolf or whatever. Like this concept is so stupid that it should have been embraced and used by someone in the future. Like there was more than one survivor of the mount or something. Like,
yeah.
Well, where does the mountain even go?
That's
like
what I was going to say. The mountain, they never addressed that.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
So yeah, before when it was Pangea or whatever, like this mountain got taken away by aliens and then it's returned to its original spot by GPS, but that's LA now. And this whole conflict happens very briefly, and then it's just kind of left. Like in the Marvel universe, is there a mountain on Sunset Boulevard forever?
Well, no, I mean, it kind of says on that last page that you're going to talk about. A little bit of the narration says that Los Angeles returns to its own. So, yeah.
Okay. So Ghost Rider says, what a bummer. And Morbius is looking at himself. He's like, they're white again. I'm still cursed. And he starts to fly off. He's like, and I helped to destroy my one chance at salvation. You hear his wail, Johnny Blaze, and it is the sound you will never forget as long as you live. And then he goes over to Starseed. He's like, Starseed says, go, brother, you who tried to save me from that which is real. And Johnny says, isn't there something I can do? He's like, no, the dream is over. My time and place must pass with it. I'm going home. And a tear falls down his golden cheek as he dies. And it says so we see Johnny pushing his bike away from the scene. It says the air sighs and gives up the ghost of a piece of a dream that is no longer. The sky and the stars reappear and Los Angeles returns to its own intact for what is changed by a dream. And Johnny thinks this is going to be one heck of a long night. And I bet I'm miles from the nearest gas station.
No, you're right.
I don't see how this resolves the mountain, though.
No, it doesn't, because the mountain was not a dream at all. It was real. Cars crashed into it.
He's on Sunset Boulevard. We know this. He's not miles from any gas station. No, they're fucking everywhere. It's Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's not 1942.
No.
It's
where are the LA Guns going to play? I don't know.
Yeah, there are. It's Sunset Boulevard in this mid 70s. There is, in fact, Johnny, a gas station within feet of you, probably.
Yeah.
That is such a bizarre line. Like,
so that is the end of the story. The next issue is about something unrelated, the Liberty Legion specifically. So this was the big team up that was never repeated for decades, right? I mean, there's the Midnight Suns some people get together again, but like the Legion of Monsters as a TM property never really happened again for like till the next century, right?
Yeah, not until the 2000s, I think.
Well, you're all wrong.
Okay.
Oh, good. I like being wrong.
Because I've told you about this comic book before. The fucking Supernaturals.
Oh, that's right. Where Jack's like California dude.
But are they
right?
actually called the Legion of Monsters?
No, but it's those
okay.
characters.
Yeah. We're talking
It's like 98.
Yeah, although Morbius isn't in it, so whatever. But it's their monster characters. And it fucking rules. It fucking rules. If you find the issues got a mask in them, like the cutout masks and shit.
Oh, I like that.
It's one of the coolest things that they ever did, because much like the Marvel Knights line, where they licensed out what's his name, Joe Quesada to literally publish some of their characters.
Mm-hmm.
They let lunatic Brian Pulido make and publish a Marvel comic. Like it's a Chaos Comics Marvel comic, and it fucking rules. It's so awesome. It's the best. It's the coolest version of like Brother Voodoo and all that stuff. I love it. It's just super cool. And you can find it for beans. It's cheap as fuck. Get the whole.
Was it collected as a trade, or do I have to get all 4 issues?
No. It's just 4 independent issues, which I got. It's cool. It's cool. Not like great writing or anything, but it's just good 90s comicking.
Yeah. Jacob, have you read Mark Waid's Daredevil with that trade that has the Legion of Monsters in it?
Yeah, I have. I have all of those issues. So
also doesn't have
Morbius
in it, does it?
No, I don't think it does. But
they never bring Morbius into the Legion of Monsters thing. I think when he comes in, or I think that trade you're talking about, it's Satana's there though, which she's not in this.
Yes, but she was in the previous issue of Marvel Premiere. I think was one of. I think it's her first color comics appearance, actually.
Word.
Yeah,
but she's not. She's not a Legion of Monster here.
No.
Thing, but she is in the Supernaturals, and it's one of my favorite versions of the character too. I love you guys know I love Satana. Satana just rules. Rules.
Rick Remender wrote Frankencastle, right? That controversial Punisher run where he was resurrected as a Frankenstein monster.
Where a bunch of dorks got mad. Like that was awesome.
I thought that was fucking
awesome.
cool. But
because
was that the Legion of Monsters, or was that just a bunch of monsters? I know Jack was there.
I can't remember.
I can't either.
I just remember it's like when you've got a title, because I didn't like the initial Punisher stuff that Garth Ennis did. I thought it was too slapsticky and gross. But when he transitions into that second Punisher Max series, where it's like kind of like serious as a heart attack, and he's going after Russian sex trade, or Russian what do you call it? Sex slavery. What's that word? There's a term for it. Sex trafficking.
Slavery? Sex trafficking.
Yeah, it's like that ruled, and it's like took place outside the Marvel universe. It's everything you'd want out of a hard as nails. The Punisher shows up and fucking ends people version of the Punisher, and it's like. Matt Fraction had kind of reintroduced the Punisher to the Marvel U again proper in a way that Remender picked up and ran with, which was saying like, you can't have him be the Garth Ennis Punisher in this because there's super villains and superheroes, and it's just a level of reality you don't want to see.
They don't mesh
in this universe. No. So he kind of found a way to like bring him back and keep him in the confines of the sort of goofier atmosphere. And it's like, I don't understand why anybody got mad at Frankencastle, because it's like, you guys already have. You hop right over and read Max. It's going on right at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, let the Frank Castle that's in the Marvel universe that has Stiltman be goofy,
Well, and that's agree. And then some of that is in Fractions. It's Punisher War Journal, right? Yeah,
the Stiltman's in Fractions. Yeah,
it's so good. I mean, that's like the first thing the Punisher does in the first issue of Fractions. Run, I think, is blow Stiltman's face off.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's so badass.
I haven't read Fractions. Wow. Okay.
He basically he's the guy, because he did like a Christmas issue before that. Like a one shot, I believe, and then he did War Journal, and I might be getting it all mixed up, but he's the guy who sort of quietly reintroduced Punisher into the Marvel U proper again.
Unenviable task, man.
Yeah, but he figured it out. Like
he figured it out, but
don't take it seriously, and and keep the line really clearly black and white, where it's like there are people who break the social contract and Punisher kills them, but this is also a universe with, talking gods and shit and stilt man. So he's got to be in that universe. It should be kind of silly. You know? And I love the Punisher Max that.
I never read the original NS stuff you were talking about that was kind of slapsticky and whatever. I don't recall that.
I think it's called Welcome Back, Frank. And then they're
I don't think I read that either.
It's what that Thomas Jane movie took from a lot. I fucking hate it. It's like in the style of Preacher.
Oh,
it's like the first one he did. I think it's for Marvel Knights.
okay.
And he did like a Marvel Knights Punisher. He's like, this is the Punisher again. And it was like super hardcore. And it's in the vein of Preacher. And then when he goes off and does Punisher Max, it's like totally different. It's much more sobering and, Black Ops kind of in his own world. And he doesn't have to pretend like he doesn't hate superheroes, Right. He can just write this tough as nails lunatic, which he enjoys doing. And I thought it was pretty cool.
His DC Vertigo equivalent, which is what it should be. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is what that Max, that's like the only good Max title I think they ever had. Was the Punisher one, and it was really good for a character that I think obviously has a complicated relationship with morons nowadays. But it's a shame because I always did like the Punisher. Like you don't have to root for the Punisher to like him. He's a character in a story. Yeah. And even in Daredevil season 2, when he pops up, it's like he's one of the best as a person who writes stories. Having a character like the Punisher is one of the best story engines ever, because the moment he shows up in your story, you know what he wants and what he's going to do. Yeah. And every bad Punisher story, including the movies, tries to make that too complicated or too over the top. And it's like, no. Like in the Thomas Jane one was like Ocean's 11. He's like, I'm going to bankrupt them and Travolta's wife, I'm going to frame her for cheating on him. And so he'll kill. It's like, no, he shows up, he shoots her in the fucking face. He's doing guerrilla warfare on criminals and gangsters and shit. And he's specifically organized crime, and it's like, he shows up and you know what he wants. And that's such a great engine to tell a story, especially when you've got a character who's like counter to him at all. Because his choices, you always know the choice he's going to make. So immediate tension, whenever he comes into something, it's like, oh yeah, he's going to just try to kill this guy,
He's a force of nature.
Yeah, precisely. And he's uncomplicated in such a way that, like, in the James Bond way, where you can make the world around him be complicated, but his reaction is always just going to be Amtrak straight through. And it's just such a great, that's why, like he said, that's what the shame is that I'm kind of driving at, is like, he's such a fun, functional character for good storytelling when people get a handle on him. Yeah. And unfortunately, he's just been adopted by freaks and psychopaths and cop-loving lunatics who just, Yeah. And it's like, now the character, like, I can't wear my fucking Punisher shirt anymore because I don't want to be a part of that whole scene. I mean, even
I know, shitty, right?
It's all over in Glendale too. There's a lot of the dudes, like, very militarized Punisher symbols on the backs of their Chargers and shit like that. It's just like, God, Jesus.
I feel bad for Conway. I follow him on Twitter, and he
grouses about
often laments that, and he's,
as he should.
Even said that there's some new Punisher book coming out, and he said, like, as the creator of this co-creator of this character, I would be in full support of a take on this character where he hunts down white supremacist crooked cops and kills them.
That's what he actually does. That's the funny thing about it, is like, they've adopted this character who would fucking shoot everything they're talking about in the face.
Yeah.
Like, a dude who runs over a black woman at a protest would be the first dude the Punisher would hunt down and just, very simply blow his fucking head off. Yeah. Like that in like a Punisher Max story,
Yeah, totally.
Just like, because like they want him to be like this kid's, because Frank Miller kind of had a bit of this take when he was doing him with Daredevil, where it's like Frank Miller made him more of like the Spider-Man villain that he was, where it was like, oh, this 14-year-old kid is selling drugs. Well, I got to shoot him. But eventually he moved away from that and was just like, no, he's not interested in that. It's just he's got a thing he's doing and he's going to do that. Like, you've had your chance. You have now tried to capture a person and sell them, and I'm going to shoot you in the face, you know? Anywho, yeah.
And I can get behind that.
Yeah,
me too.
I think we're all in agreement there.
Okay, real quick, though. I know we're running long, but this might be my last time with you guys on this one. So I still think the first Punisher movie is the best live-action version of the character. Even more so than the Bernthal one, which I think obviously is more sophisticated.
He's pretty good.
As an actor, he's great, and it's a much more sophisticated take. But I also think they gussy it up too much. The bullet in the head takes him too long to get there. He's like working construction. Not the Thomas Jane one. I don't like that one. I like Thomas Jane too. Just don't like that movie. I fucking think that Dolph Lundgren like action programmer if he just had the skull on his shirt, it's fucking awesome. Like it's just goofy. It's kind of in that Ninja Turtles wheelhouse.
Oh, for sure.
Like, but he's like in the sewers. He just shoots people in the face.
Yeah,
it's just car bombs, shooting him in the face, mean as fuck. I actually think Dolph Lundgren turns in a pretty good performance. Like, and he's a very convincing, magnetic superstar of a guy. I think that movie rules. It's good. I mean, if I had to watch a Punisher thing, I'm gonna watch the OG.
All right, so I feel pretty safe with you guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and admit this. Punisher Warzone, Lexi Alexander, 2008, with Ray Stevenson. My favorite Punisher.
A lot of people like that one.
Yeah, I love its over the top violence. It's satirical, just kind of goofiness.
It's also a lot like the early Ennis one too.
That's what, when you were describing that, I was like, that sounds like the Warzone. Yeah,
because like the Tom Jane one, and it's the slapstick moments, like when he's fighting the Russian dude, are taken from that, and then Lexi's take just seems to be all that. My thing with Lexi's take on the damn character, though, if I had to be honest, is like, I feel like I like what she's doing with it. Like, this is absurd. It reminds me of Joel Schumacher's Batman in that. It's just that the story isn't good.
Yeah.
You know, like what the characters want, what they're doing, and why they want to get it, and how they get there.
It serves the sequences. It's a set up a bunch of sequences. You're right. And
because like the villains at one point are just kind of walking around the street going, let's go do this. Like, nothing seems to like, it doesn't like chug along. It's just like a bunch of like, but I'm not mad at the tone. I don't mind a big campy neon goofy Punisher running around in a giant tin can.
Dominic West as Jigsaw.
Yeah, I get it. I think it's
very
all
big.
Cool. But much like Batman and Robin, it's like, it's not that it's gay and neon that makes Batman and Robin bad. It's just that the script doesn't seem to have any interest in telling you like a really good story.
Yeah,
in that wheelhouse, and that's sort of my disconnect with that. Where it's like the old canon Punisher movie is like a good story in the way that like Under Siege is. It's just like, you know what they want, you know why they're doing it, you see the obstacles in their way, it ramps up, and there's a few good moments, and the fucking Punisher looked cool as fuck. I just wish he had that Punisher skull.
Do you like Dredd at all?
Fuck it. I'm watching that tonight. I don't like Dredd. I like it I think it's executed well.
All right.
Like I think it's like a functionally good action movie.
Yeah. But not as representation of Judge Dredd as a property.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think it's like Judge Dredd is a satire.
Yeah,
it's funny. Like it's like to me, they made the great Judge Dredd movie. It's called RoboCop. You know?
Yeah.
I think the greatest Judge Dredd property is the Judge Dredd pinball machine, in my opinion.
Fuck yeah.
I've never played that.
Baby, you are talking my language now.
Things I've ever played.
Ever.
The machine itself is like a foot wider than any other pinball machine. It's just it's a tank. It's an
immersive
tank.
world of pinball that they spared no expense on.
How weird! Like I'm pretty sure that pinball machine came out before any movie of Judge Dredd came out. Like I think that was
I think it's a tie-in for the Stallone film, and that's why it's so robust.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to really follow any of that, though. I wondered about that
probably because there were maybe likeness things, or maybe nobody's paying any attention. The people working on it were like, "Fuck this movie."
But it seems to be kind of a faithful adaptation to the 2000 AD stuff, like a little bit.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, they were commissioned to do this thing, and we're just like,
They had the rights.
Nobody's
to
paying
2015.
attention.
Yeah.
And so they're doing it for the Stallone movie, but they make this, because I can't imagine they commissioned it for just the comic. I mean, maybe they did.
I don't know. I seem to remember it totally rules. Yeah, it's one of my favorite, and it honestly is my favorite Judge Dredd thing. Like more than the stories, more than the movies. It's like I'd play that machine all day long.
More than the stories?
Man, that Dredd movie, the Judge Dredd, the Stallone one is a heartbreak too, because one, Stallone looks awesome with the helmet on.
He does.
So bad.
And I do think he is. The problem with that movie is him having too much say in what the movie should be.
Yeah.
Because he's great as Judge Dredd. He's fucking great when he's got the helmet on and he's just saying his little lines. Like in the first 10 minutes, he's doing that.
Yeah.
Like because Stallone is a charismatic, good actor.
Yeah.
He looks like a comic book at that point in his life. He's a ridiculous looking person. And the practical effects in that movie, like that robot thing, they look fucking incredible. They hold up to this day. The weird Hick family and shit. I what a misfire that movie is. It's so bad. And it's just Stallone has to take the helmet off to make it about cloning. They forgot to make it satirical at all. You got Rob Schneider in there.
Oh, I forgot about that. Jesus.
It's just a bunch of bad choices. Just Stallone just having that Cobra level power where his id's just on display too much when it sucks. Because it's if he would have done what I think Arnold was really good at, was really good at submitting himself to a filmmaker. Like if he trusted the filmmaker, he'd let a filmmaker use him and wouldn't just big dick the whole production to be like, no, I want this, I want that. Whereas Stallone was like, I'm a filmmaker. My movies make more money than any of your movies. So I'm going to change this into a Stallone thing. So,
Yeah.
And it's just a shame because it's fuck, if he a Verhoeven or even a Richard Donner at the helm of that movie and Stallone just doing the job that he's supposed to do, fucking would have ruled. That the special effects on that movie are fucking awesome. Sorry. What a drag.
Yeah. I made a hashtag out of resting Judge Dredd face, and I just want to spread that out there because I think that should be a thing.
It really should.
That should.
Because I have resting Judge Dredd face. Cool. Well, we didn't do final thoughts, really.
Should we?
So quickly, just glancing. I thought it was, like you said, blocky, sketchy art that seemed a little rushed. The story by Mantlo was easy breezy in a kind of a good way. And it brought up some interesting things that it was nice to get a break from Doug and just get a different take. And it was nice to see the Beast just be the Beast and just be savage and be the wild card and the liability in the group.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think that it was a very breezy story, and it's not something, if it was described to me, I would say, oh, I'm not going to like that. That sounds stupid as shit. But then reading it was actually pretty entertaining. Like I liked it way more than I think I should. Not embarrassed. I'm owning it. So I really enjoyed this issue. It was fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I dug it. I thought it was fun, and it doesn't pay off the things it brings up very well. It's a little messy, and doesn't. It's interesting because it just feels like just a little bit more time on this story. It's like it could have had a nice little EC Comics monkey's paw effect of what a character wants and how they end up damaging this savior guy. Mm-hmm. And they just never really land it. You know what I mean? Because you've got these, they try to explain it on all these cursed characters not could have done it, but your squabbling has ruined it. And it's they don't really earn that. And it doesn't quite make sense. You don't know that's something that guy's capable of till he, mm-hmm. It feels like it should have been nobody's in control of themselves. You shouldn't have had Johnny Blaze being he should have been the demon.
Right, not the voice of reason.
Yeah, and they're all going nuts, and it should have been because Man-Thing shows up, he makes it worse, and it's he's elevating their fear and hatred, and even though he's trying to stop it, and it spills over onto this guy, which they kind of do, but
that's
it's
because
you're
a good writer.
Yeah.
Well, and also I'm not probably to their credit, I'm also not writing 6 other titles probably at the time, have 2 days to turn it in. And, Marv Wolfman calling me every day going, where's those pages? I mean, and you're like, what do I have to? What the fuck is this? Like, how do I get these guys together? And one of them's in Florida. I don't know. He just appears.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You having to call up Mike or Fleischer, or whatever the fuck his name is, or not Fleischer. Is it Fleischer? Whoever's writing Ghost Rider at the time, like, what the fuck's up with Johnny Blaze right now? Like,
who was writing that?
Yeah, they go through so many. I don't know if Isabella was on quite yet.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I can't remember who's writing at that precise moment. But it's like, having to confer with, because that's a running title at the time, having to be like, oh, what? So is he the demon right now, or like is it? Okay, so Zarathos is not all right. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. It's amazing those things even come out at all,
Yeah, no kidding.
Let alone
when you paint it that way.
As fun as something like that, because it's like, yeah, it's silly and dumb, but if I was 7 in 1976, whatever, that would have ruled. Ruled.
Well, I think this story is kind of indicative of what was happening at Marvel at the time. Like, Marvel was getting pretty chaotic. Like when Shooter showed up and was just like, oh my God, I have to start wrangling all these fuckers. Like, everyone's in their own little fiefdoms, like editing themselves and doing all this other stuff. And so, yeah, I think the nature of most Marvel issues coming out now is really chaotic.
Yeah, and they kind of lost the caliber of writer that they had in the early 70s where the fiefdoms were working.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, I'm fucking writing jungle action. Leave me the fuck alone because I'm Don McGregor and I rule. And Jim Starlin's like, yeah, I rule too. And you got like some aces up there. And it's just like, Mantlo's good. I like Micronauts. It was fun to look at. But yeah, by this point, the comics they're not great.
No.
There's not a title, I think, in the Marvel stable at that time that's like truly a shining example that I can think of off the top of my head of like, wow, Marvel's crushing this,
I can't think of one in 76.
Yeah. 76? No.
Yeah.
Not one.
It was a lull quality-wise. That's fair enough. We joked about it taking 2 to 5 minutes to read, but we talked about it for an hour and a half. So something was there.
Well, it was fun to talk about.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they're all fun to talk about.
Yeah.
This is the dream.
Yeah.
Like hanging out with buds, talking about old comics, and do that to the end of time.
Yeah.
So who are we casting as Starseed?
Yeah. Ooh.
See, they got to be around in 76.
Okay? They have to be around in 76.
That's paint me a corner there.
Trying to think of who's a golden god at this point.
Abe Vigoda.
Abe Vigoda.
I'm blanking on Pretty Boys. I mean, he has to be a, physically perfect specimen, right? He's supposed to be this thing we've fallen away from over time.
What about the guy who...
And he's got to have gravitas too, though.
Yes.
Because he's not like, you can't just throw Redford in there,
No.
Like, Redford would be a good one if he didn't, if gravitas wasn't an issue.
Yeah, he's got like a... So I'm gonna go with somebody who's a little bit old at the time, but I think would work, and that's Peter O'Toole.
Oh, okay.
I think in 76 he looks cool. He's still handsome. He's still movie star handsome. He's doing like, I think, the stuntman and shit like that. Like he's a big guy and he's got the gravitas and he looks like a fucking alien. He looks like a handsome alien. If anybody looked like a handsome alien, it would be him.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I can definitely picture that.
Some gold spray paint.
And he's not averse to doing some schlock,
Nope, he is not.
Good call there. I like that.
Nicely done.
Definitely not Hasselhoff. So, I had a great time talking with you guys tonight, but the sad thing is we are down to a handful of episodes left. And so I think this is probably going to be our last time to have you on the show, Brad. And I want to say thank you so much for being the first person, by the way, when we announced that we were doing this, to jump up and say, when am I going to be on?
Yeah.
And being our...
I'm so annoying.
Our most favorite. Are you kidding me? Fuck you. No, you are unofficial co-host.
Yep.
A favorite guest, a champion of the show. You brought people in to check us out that would normally never checked it out. And we really appreciate it. And I've loved talking with you about comics ever since.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that this, whatever time you got to take away from it and stuff like that. I hope that this continues in some way, or you find a new project to like whatever you guys are interested in. Because it's really enjoyable. I don't know. That's hard to say because, life is so busy and weird. And this is a labor of love for you guys, like clearly, but but like all labors of love, I mean, those are the most fulfilling things to do. You know, unfortunately, they don't always, deck the halls with goodies.
Right.
Right. But you never know which one will.
Yeah, you got to try.
You know what I mean? You just never do. I mean, you can kind of figure some things, but it's just, there's 3 billion people on the planet, right? And I have this thing called the ICP model. I think I might have broached this before. The Insane Clown Posse. A lot of people hate the Insane Clown Posse. I'd say most people hate the Insane Clown Posse, or at least find them annoying or have no interest in their music. But the thing about the Insane Clown Posse is their business model when it comes to the arts is, or anything pop culture wise, should be taught in schools. Because if you can, of the 3 billion people, if you can get 50,000 of them to dig your shit, you got a career.
Yeah.
So it's like a ratio. It's like a law.
Yeah. And again,
yeah,
by law of averages, even 50,000 people like the Insane Clown Posse,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And more even. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and they've held tight to that. But so you just never know what like really pops off with people. You just kind of got to do what you want to do. And this show, I hope you guys do another one. I have my requests. Obviously, I do any of these things, but like I hope you guys pick up another one after maybe some time away from this or whatever. And I'd love to come on board and be a guest on that one as well. But if it ends at just Werewolf by Night, then what a cool little artifact that I'm glad exists.
Well, thanks. We're glad. I mean, we've talked multiple times on the show over the last, 50 episodes about how it's been a lifesaver for me personally, like just having to do something every week that is an obligation, but is also the most fun I'm going to have that week too is, that's as valuable as it gets really. So,
yeah, we talk about it often that I'm typically in a pretty shitty, pissy mood before we start the show. And then when we're wrapping, I'm in a much happier place. So
your life is so cool though, man. Why are you so pissed off?
I don't know.
Yeah, Matt.
I'm kidding. I don't want to pry. I'm just saying, like,
No, I understand.
You guys rule.
We started this as a form of therapy. I mean, it was a joke post that I did about a year ago, just with a shot of my omnibus saying, "Anybody want to do a weekly Werewolf by Night podcast?" And there was a bunch of likes, and nobody really responded. Or I think a few people did, but I just moved on. And then, like 2 months later, Jacob's like, "So when are we doing this?" Like, so obviously this has to be a thing because Jacob bit. And then when we announced it, you said, "When am I going to be on?" Like, well, he has to be on the show because you bit. You get it. So the entire thing was just to be therapy and just a way to escape the realities and celebrate something that I thought was cool. And I got to meet and become friends with one of my favorite modern directors, which was fucking rad. Having you on the show, meeting you in the first place was fucking amazing because I'm a huge fucking fan of your work.
Thanks,
and
dude.
A dude from the Black Eyed Peas texted us and was like, "Do you want to have me on your show to talk about this?" Like, okay, like this was literally meant to be me and Jacob amusing ourselves, like staring at our belly buttons for 90 minutes a week. And it creates some pretty cool stuff. And we continue to get more and more downloads, more and more reviews, not to pivot into a sale here, but like we're getting more and more interest from people as we're kind of winding the show down. So if you do want to review us, Jacob will send you buttons. Just send us a screenshot of that. We got some really nice ones the last couple of weeks here, and got some leg up stuff from people, which is cool. We spoke again about like what's next. We have something we're kind of cooking, which is in a different genre, entirely different type of show, but we're considering this the season 1 of Werewolf by Night. So I am open to many ideas. I love Bronze Age stuff, so I could be talked into a Man-Thing thing. I could be talked into a Son of Satan thing. I could be talked into whatever. There's tons of comic stuff I'm open to, but we want to take a break and explore some other possibilities first, I think is where we're at right now.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people that I know personally who have kind of come to the weirdness of comics through this show. They're just being like, what is this thing you're posting? Because there are just some people on the planet who will look at a drawing of a werewolf and the cool title and go, they just need to know what it is, you know, and then it pushes them through and suddenly they're buying dopey comics and shit, which is cool. I've seen it happen. And even on the small scale, it's still pretty bitchin'. And the buttons are sick as fuck. I love my buttons. They just
right
rule.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brad Elmore of Bit says.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good time, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. So next week, Jacob, you'll be you and me, right, for Werewolf by Night 38?
Yes, 38. Then we'll be also discussing the Paul Naschy film, Curse of the Yeti. Is that one of the titles?
It's my desktop right now. The Werewolf and the Yeti is one of the common English title.
All right.
The Curse of the Beast is the whatever that is in Spanish.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Me too. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us this week. Be back here next week for that. And till we meet again, meet the full moon, furry ones. Here's Howlin' at ya.